Dragon Ball FighterZ is definitely one of the most anticipated games of 2017, at least on the fighting game genre. It's a game that's going to be coming out really soon, on January of this year, and because of that there are a lot of people talking about the game, saying both things that they like and they dislike. Personally, I only played the game twice, once in a tournament that there was the open beta of the game, and then later on Lisbon Games Week, where the game was available to play. And because of that, I don't have much experience with the game to tell personally what I think are the good things and the bad things about the game. However, I prefer waiting for the game to come out first before I tell my opinion to people. However, I've been seeing a lot of people having strong opinions about the game. And some of those strong negative opinions that I've been seeing people talk about both on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, are kind of bothering me because they doesn't make that much sense. And I know this is a game that it's gathering a lot of different demographics, a lot of different audiences. There are people who are playing it because they are fan of Dragon Ball. There are people who are playing it because they are fan of fighting games. So those complaints, they are of different kinds. They are not always the same kind of complaints. But I want to talk about some of them that I think it doesn't make sense. I know I probably will get a lot of hate because of this video. That's the nature of the internet. But I think it's good for people to voice their opinion and show what they think about stuff. So I respect that you guys think like that, but I also want to tell why I think it doesn't make sense about those complaints. And basically, there are 5 complaints that I want to address here. The first one is the terminology in Dragon Ball FighterZ. This is a complaint that's coming mostly from people who don't play fighting games competitively. I mean, like, people who like Dragon Ball Xenoverse or who like the Dragon Ball as a series in general. When they are watching videos about like the terminology or the competitive aspect of the game, they often see people saying, they are using a fireball, or they are using a DP, or something like that. And they start complaining that it's not a fireball, it's a ki blast, for example. I don't think that's a problem that they're using the term fireball, and I'm going to explain why. In fighting games, there are many different fighting games for many different franchises. Not only franchises that are only about fighting games, but like for example, there is a fighting game about Pokemon. There is a fighting game about the DC universe. There is a fighting game about the Marvel universe. And because of that, like the functionalities of the mechanics in a fighting game aren't that different from one fighting game to another. So the fighting game community, the competitive players of fighting games, or even the casual fans, the fans that don't play in tournaments, they often agreed in a terminology that no matter which fighting game you are playing or talking about, you are able to talk about the game to other people and they will be able to understand what you are saying. So, for example, many fighting games have a projectile as sort of fireball that the player can do, like you do quadriciclo forward and you do a projectile, you do a fireball, you do a, I don't know, water blast or electric shock or many different things. So since the functionality is similar between characters and games, the fighting game community decided to just call it fireballs because of that's how it came on Street Fighter, for example. That's the first fighting game to be actually successful. It's to make things easier for everyone. So I don't think that complaining about the terminology that people are using is a good thing because they are using that because it's better for everyone who plays fighting games as a whole. And it's better for people to understand the genre as a whole. You may not like it right now, but if you start playing Dragon Ball FighterZ and because of that you get interested in playing other 2D fighters, you realize that it's going to help you in the long run. So yeah, that's why I don't like when people are complaining about the terminology. I think people should be trying to learn about the terminology instead of complaining about it. Next up are 2 complaints that they bother me because they are different sides of the same coin. It just doesn't make sense for someone to complain about one and complain about the other at the same time. Those complaints are that the game doesn't respect the canon, like the power level of characters, because there are some characters who are stronger than others, and the anime they are not that strong. And the other complaints that there aren't many characters. Basically, the thing that bothers me about people saying that the game doesn't respect the canon First of all, it's a fighting game. It's not a story. Like, you have the story mode, you have the story of the manga, but first and foremost, a fighting game needs to be fun to play with. If you play a fighting game and you think it's not fun, then you're not going to play it anymore. And because of that, even on fighting games that have story mode, sometimes the balance between the characters in game are not the same the same power that you see on the story itself. For example, in Blaze Blue, there is like the one fighting game called Blaze Blue. There is a character called Rachel Alucard. She is considered in the story. She's considered one of the strongest characters in the franchise. In the story, she's like extremely overpowered. However, on the second game of the franchise, she was the worst character to play with in the fighting game, on the game itself. So that happens on fighting games as well. And the game must achieve a balance because people need to be using all the characters. Like, that's another thing why I think it's bothering me when people say there aren't many characters on the game, because let's suppose that you have like 100 characters, but you are respecting the canon, and Goku is better than Kuririn, better than Yantia. I don't know, Gohan Kid doesn't stand a chance against Frieza, and etc. If you do that, when you are going to play online or play against other people, they aren't going to use those characters that are not as strong in the anime. They're not going to pick Kuririn. They're not going to pick Yantia. So it doesn't make sense for you to want to have the game respecting the canon and having many characters, because in the end, if the game is unbalanced between the characters, you're not going to see all the characters being used, and the game will become boring quicker, and the game will become stale quicker. So you're not going to see all those characters being used. It's like the development team is basically doing job on create a character that's not going to be used. It's a wasted potential. That's why they need to make the game fun, and they need to give reasons for everyone to use every character on the game. Basically, it's a fighting game, even though the story doesn't say that. The fourth complaint that I'm going to talk about comes more from the competitive players than from the Dragon Ball players. Like, it's a complaint about the combos are too easy to do. Because on Dragon Ball FighterZ, you have two auto combos. You have the auto combo that you mash the weak attack. I may be saying something wrong, but I think it's the one with the weak attack that you just press and you do a combo. And the medium attack you just press and do a combo. This is called auto combo. You don't have to do anything else other than pressing the buttons. Some people are complaining that this type of mechanics make the game too easy for a new player to beat a veteran. I don't think that's the case. First of all, if you are being beaten because someone was on one combo against you, then combo is not the problem. The problem is that you are losing on the neutral game, or you are losing on other aspects of the game. Second of all, although there is those easier combos, there are also more difficult combos. I have already seen a lot of combos on the internet that looks pretty difficult to do on Dragon Ball FighterZ. Maybe not as difficult as in Guilty Gear or, I don't know, Street Fighter 4, but they are difficult to do. If you're not being able to do the most difficult combos from your character, then why are you so worried that there are easy combos on the game? Because like you have something to practice on. You have something to keep you entertained. So why easy combos should matter to you if you can't even do the most difficult combos yet? That's something to think about, because I think the game needs to have variety. Like, I think the game should allow the players to do easy combos and difficult combos. Of course, I think the difficult combos should reward you more, to give more damage and etc. If someone complains that the combos are doing too much damage, then I can understand where they're coming from. But I don't think that shouldn't have auto combos on the game or easier combos on the game. Honestly, for me, you pressing like a button multiple times, or pressing like a Fierce Punch and Hadouken, they are all that much different from one another. They are both like easy to do. Doesn't take that much practice. So it's not something that's only on Dragon Ball FighterZ. There are other fighting games that have this thing as well. And I think you also probably play a fighting game like that. Alright, this video is getting too long, but I will say the last complaint. Last complaint that I hear people, this comes more from the audience that don't play fighting games competitively on tournaments, is that the game takes no skill. some people are saying that Dragon Ball FighterZ takes no skill, that you just mash buttons and etc. I will counter-argument this with a simple fact. If you are watching this video and you are excited for this game, you probably has less than 35 years old. You probably have been around when the Super Nintendo was coming out. Like, you probably were a kid when there was Super Nintendo or Nintendo 64 and video games were a new thing to most adults. You probably remember that those adults didn't value those games as worthy. They didn't think that was like something important or something like that they should respect. The main reason for that is that they didn't understand how those things were being made, right? Like, which adult in the 90s knew what's a programming language, what's a coding, what's a pixel art? They didn't understand that. Because of that, they didn't respect those games. They thought it was for child. They thought it was like dumb, it was stupid. And their lack of knowledge stopped them from seeing the skill that was actually being put there. With this game, or fighting games in general, that's exactly the case that happens when people say that the game takes no skill. The skill is there, but perhaps you don't have the sufficient knowledge to see it happening. Once you start playing Dragon Ball FighterZ and once you start learning more about the game, I hope you might understand that this is a game that requires a lot of skill to be really good. I know, sometimes you can see like there was a match from Sonic Fox that he did only one combo for an entire round with Android 16, for example. Looking like that without understanding the game, or understanding two different games, may look like he's just pressing buttons and doing something with no skill. But once you start understanding, once you start learning more, you will realize that there was some aspect of things that he was doing that takes a lot of skill, a lot of practice, and a lot of experience. So that's it, guys. This is the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked this video. And if you like, please consider subscribing and following my channel, because I'm going to be making a lot of content about not only Dragon Ball FighterZ, but fighting games as well. I'm Bulink, and I see you guys around. Take care. Bye.